Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Hawks21 here, back with another Splinterlands video. So the 7th Chaos Legion airdrop is upon us. We hit the 7 million pack mark earlier today, and late last night they actually released what the card would be, so I just wanted to talk about the new card quickly. First, a little shameless plug for my Twitter, because that's where I'm going to get the stats from, but yeah, I'm on Twitter at Hawks21 Gaming. Don't have a ton of followers, I just talk about Splinterlands all day. So if you come follow me on Twitter early, you'll have pretty great access to me. And happy to chat about the game. So yeah, I just tweeted this out, but here is the new card. The Spirit Hoarder, a neutral legendary card. I actually really like this card, and I'll get into why. So if you looked at my last video, which I will link in the description, about the backline tanks with taunt, so specifically the Wave Brood in water and the Mycelic on the Earth deck, this card synergizes perfectly with those two cards and those strategies. So you'll be able to play him with Triage at Bronze, which, here's a little spoiler too, my next Beginner's Guide series is going to be on some third-party tools you can use to help your Splinterlands experience. And here's one of them, which is Splinter cards. I'm going to get fully into this in that video, but it just shows you levels at which people get certain abilities. So here are all the cards with Triage. And let's go through them quickly. Rare level 7 is Diamond and higher. This is Silver and higher, level 4. This card gets it at level 1, so that's Bronze. 8 and higher is Diamond and higher. This is Gold and higher, Gold and higher, Gold and higher. This is a really expensive summoner that gives you Triage, so you could play this at Bronze, but again, it's out of a lot of people's price range. This is Gold and higher. This is Silver and higher, and then we have the Spirit Hoarder, which is going to be Bronze and higher. So there's only one other Triage monster that you can play in Bronze right now. And a couple things. One, the Mermaid Healer has 0 attack at level 1. Let's go look at that quickly. I believe she's a promo card for water. Yep, right here. So at level 1 in Bronze, when you would play this card, this is what it looks like. Doesn't have an attack, 4 health, low speed. So again, useful, right? But, not as useful as something like the Spirit Hoarder, who's going to have that attack right away. So similar stats, right? This will have 1 more health, 1 more speed, but 0 attack. I would preferably sacrifice, the 1 speed and the 1 health for the attack. Also, the Mermaid Healer won't be able to be used in the modern format once they make the switch. It's an older promo card, so once that happens, the only Bronze Triager in modern will be this Spirit Hoarder. So I think at Bronze, this is an unbelievable card. Again, I mentioned the two synergies right away with the backline taunt monsters. And it also has a nice, outside of the Mycelic Slip Spawn with Earth, it matches up well with Obsidian, right? With the +1 magic. And in the reverse rule set, here, the Queen Mycelia is right here too. These are two really nice reverse speed magic monsters that you can play at the lower levels. And this one won't have Triage. I think it just has Protect, so you'll get the shield, but it'll get an extra boost to its magic damage. So Bronze, really love the card for the main reason of, the only Triage, and it helps with a strategy I really like at the lower levels, which is using that backline taunt monster and letting a high damage dealer like Grund, for example, in the video that I had, sort of do work up front. And the Spirit Hoarder will just help your backline taunt stay alive for longer. Now, at level 2, which is Silver and above, to me it doesn't really get that big of a boost, right? It picks up Dispel, which is nice, but Dispel is one of those abilities that when it works, it's great, but it's not something you can really consistently plan around and actively utilize, right? So some of the best use cases that I've found are like when a monster is protected, right? And so like a monster has the Protect ability and normally doesn't have shield, but another monster is giving it shield. And then you have a repair monster on the other side. You can take away their shield and their ability to repair through Dispel. But again, you're then talking about having a plan for a very specific strategy on the other side. And there's other uses for Dispel. So like if a monster is inspired and has an extra melee attack, this will get rid of it. If a monster has an extra speed burst through swiftness, Dispel will get rid of it. So it's certainly useful when it works, but to me it's just really hard to, actually truly make it work. Now at gold, I think it gets a massive boost through the blind. Having I would use it mostly for its triage, right? But at a neutral 3 mana cost monster, you can fit that into the majority of lineups. And as I've talked about, I use Kitty and Speed a ton in this game, right? Like Kitty in Alamo Cambio, Kitty Nightmare, Kitty, name any other fast monster, preferably with phase, but not necessarily, it doesn't have to have phase. Getting this cheap blind is amazing for me, right? Like I'll be able to fill the Spirit Hoarder in for any type of match and just pick up this blind. So that's like a really huge ability. Getting triage and blind at level 3 for 3 mana cost makes this card insane to me. And it's one I'm certainly going to get to level 3 right away. I'm guaranteed 3 in the airdrop, but I'm going to have to go out and buy, other 3 cards if I don't get really, really lucky. But I'm certainly going to do that. And then at Diamond and Champion, obviously, same exact thing, except picks up another magic, so it just gets that much more powerful. I won't be playing with it at that level because I won't be in Diamond or Champion anytime soon. But anytime you can add an attack or a magic or an archery to a unit, it gets significantly stronger. The 2 magic with those abilities for 3 mana, this card is probably not going to pass the Bakjira for me. But in terms of airdrops, this might be my most used one, just given its neutral status and all of the abilities it gives you. And it really synergizes well with some of the strategies that I'm, now playing. So before I wrap up, just want to touch on what they decided to do with the airdrop amounts. And if you don't know, it's a little too late because we already passed the 7 million, but they really increased the amount of packs you needed to purchase and airdrop points to get the Spirit Hoarder. So you're guaranteed 1 per every 500 packs that you purchased. This is obviously a huge increase from the 350, and they, just told us last night as it was winding down, you certainly did have time to up your purchases, but some people might not have the money to buy 150 packs if they were planning on like the 350 or the 375 or the 400, whatever it is, on a whim. And the reason for that is less people are opening the packs than they originally intended and waiting for the airdrops. And I mean, I'm guilty of this too. I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm buying the packs and then just not opening them, right? For a variety of reasons. 1, because I think they're going to go up over the long term. And 2, once the legendary summoners are in packs, that's when I want to open them, right? Because you'll have a chance to pull them. So like, why would I open these packs now when I can wait for even more powerful cards to be available to get them? So to combat this, they had to make the guaranteed rates smaller, because a bigger supply of these cards was naturally being released because more packs are unopened than they were originally expecting. So while I understand that it can be frustrating for those who were counting on, getting 1 guaranteed airdrop, hopefully, you get lucky and you get one. Their decision makes a lot of sense, and I know I'm able to say that very easily as someone who, has 100 or 1,500 airdrop points. But there are people who are getting way more airdrops than I am. So the decision makes sense. It can be frustrating, but there's real logic behind it, and it's just going to help these cards keep their value for a really, really long time. And it's kind of what I've talked about before, where the long-term nature of this game and how well it's planned and thought out. It's these types of decisions that they're not afraid to make along the way in adjusting things that has had this game sort of survive 3 years through bull markets and bear markets, and why I'm confident it'll be here for the long term. So yeah, really excited about the Spirit Hoarder. I think it's a card I'll be able to fit into a lot of lineups. Really, really powerful at bronze. I think at the bronze level, it's a must-have card. Getting that triage will be a game changer for people. All right, well, if you enjoyed this content, or if you learned anything, or if you're excited about the Spirit Hoarder, I would really encourage you to like and subscribe. It'll help me grow my channel and do more of this type of content. Also, find me on Twitter. I would love to have you guys here. We can have a conversation, talk about the game. Tell me what you like about the Spirit Hoarder, what you don't like. Are you mad about the airdrop increase? Do you understand? Like, let me know. Like, let's have a conversation about it. All right, talk to you soon.